Hi, welcome to TechCrunch, a place where we learn and earn technical skills in the most efficient way. Let's make coding fun. PL SQL tutorial, Chapter 7, PL SQL interview and certification preparation tips. What do we learn in this chapter? Interview preparation, PL SQL technical interview set of questions, certification information that will help you to shortlist your profile, and some practice questions for your homework. Interview preparation and tips. When it comes to an interview, it's always very confusing to see how to start for the preparation. So let's go step by step. First thing, you have to write up your resume. The resume is all about you and your qualification and experience if you have. So it's very important to get the shortlisted, and it shows your first impression to an employer. So you have to be very careful while writing the resume. Next, employer information. Once you're shortlisting, you have been invited for the technical interview. During the interview, you will get a chance to ask questions, like if you have any questions for us from the interviewer. That gives the employer and the interviewer a clue if you are mutually interested in this opportunity and you are aware about this employer or this organization. So it's always give a positive feedback to an employer if you ask questions about that project, what they are actually hiring for it. Technical informations. Yes, job descriptions and your profile must have same keywords. That will highlight your chances. Once they found same skill sets in your profile, their expectations will be higher and their set of questions will be accordingly, and they will assess your depth of knowledge in that particular technical skill sets. So of course, you have to keep learning and upgrading your skills with respect to the concepts and technical knowledge to go in detail about that particular field. Introduction. One of the most common questions before we start an interview is tell me about yourself. So practice your impressive introduction, which explains you and your resume content in precise. Rate skill sets. This is equally important for you and for interviewer to see how depth knowledge on a particular skill sets you have and how confident you are in this skill sets. So decide before going in will help you to simple and plan the interview preparation. Now let's discuss some PL SQL technical interview questions. If you are a beginner or intermediate, difference between SQL and PL SQL, and why do we need PL SQL? So we have discussed SQL is like structured query language and PL SQL is a procedural structured query language, which is a subset of SQL, and that helps to make it in a programming form and a PL SQL block of code, and which helps to execute multiple SQL statements in one go. Difference between type and row type. Type provides data type of variable, content and column wise, constant and column wise. With respect to the row type, this is used to declare a variable to be recorded having same structure as a row in a table. So row defined as a record and its field have same names and data types. So this is the difference from type and row type that you can explain during the interview. Difference between an execution of triggers, procedures, difference between the execution of triggers and constraints. These are the questions, like you have to make sure your concept should be clear with triggers, procedures and constraints. The trigger is for event handling, procedure is for statement execution along with some aggregate functions. Constraints is to provide a condition in a particular row or column, and instead of trigger is when we modify the view, we might need this kind of attribute. Differentiate between syntax and runtime error. Syntax error is basically a spelling error, and runtime is basically when the particular select statement cannot return any particular row, any execution error. So syntax error is basically an error which can be identified easily by PL SQL compiler. What are the three modes of parameters? We have learned about in, parameter, out parameter. We can have in, out in function because it returns the value. So those are the modes of parameter. Why is open always false in implicit cursor? Because of implicit cursor is always execute the DML statement. So while execution of DML statement, implicit cursor is open and immediately closed after the execution. So that's why is open is always false for an implicit cursor. What do you understand by exception handling, and listed the predefined exceptions? Like all other kind of programming language, we have the exception in PL SQL, which actually handle when the error occurs. Or you can say it handled the undesired situation when PL SQL scripts terminated unexpectedly. And there are some predefined, user-defined and undefined exceptions. Out of that, the predefined is the one which has common errors, which is mentioned in the library. So for example, no data found, too many rows, invalid cursors, zero divide. These are kind of predefined. And when it comes to the user-defined kind of exception are those which basically violate the business rules. So difference between cursor declared in procedures and cursor declared in the package specification. These are the questions which you can understand while working and making a code. What do you understand by the PL SQL records? Write a PL SQL script to display the following series of numbers. They may ask you to code then and there. And algorithm implementation, bubble sort, odd, even sort, or average calculation, median calculations, or any particular logic or any pattern display. So these are the practice that you can do it at your own and learn the coding. Now let's discuss a little bit about certification. With respect to the PL SQL, which is an Oracle product, you can go to the oracle.com. There, when you go to the certification, they have mentioned as an Oracle University. This particular group of Oracle help you to assess your technical skills and give you a certification and recognize with your skills. So there are two ways you can do it. There are different paths for the certification. One is for developer, one is for admin. It depends what are your interests. Based on that, once you choose your path, you can start getting your certification, and once your certification is done, you will get a badge. This badge you can include in your resume and show to an employer that you are Oracle certified at the professional level or associate level or an expert. So this is the importance of certification. Now, the question certification preparation. First thing, you have to decide what path you want to go in a developer or admin or any kind of other frameworks you are interested in. Make an objective. Collect all the information with respect to that particular path of that particular certification. Is collect the information, how much it costs, how much time it will take, how many questions there will be, what type of pattern it will have. Next, you need to plan. Take a time frame and prepare it for the certification accordingly and book a testing plan. So once the planning is done, you have to start practice. Make a schedule and take time out, about half an hour or 1 hour out of your day, and practice coding and go through with the theory in practice coding and practice the questions and see what type of questions, sample questions, collect all the information. And after the practice, you do the self-assessments. There are some practice tools, they are available online where you can attend those questions and see are you ready for this exam. And once you're done with the self-assessment, you can go for the exam. Now all the information with respect to this certification, you can get it in the Oracle University site. You can go to the certificate oracle.com and there you go to the certification. You can choose your path. This is the products and technology where you want what kind of technology you want to get the certification: database, application, Java, business intelligence, middleware. And after that, you need to buy an exam voucher register for your exam and go through with the steps like explore certifications, prepare for your exam, register for your exam. They provide you all kind of information, and after preparing to pass your certification exam, you will get some courses and some optional webinar or training resources they will provide you, that you can go through it and attend some seminars which helps you to preparation in your exam. Once all these preparations and all these information you collect, for example, you can see here with respect to the PL SQL developer, there are associate and professional and master level, they have it. Associate, they have 63 multiple type questions, 90 minutes and 245 is your price, and training is optional, and they will provide you webinar. For the professional, there are some prerequisite associate condition that you have already done your associate, 63 multiple type of questions, 90 minute, 245, training is optional and webinar is available, training resources. And master, there are some 3 levels. First is a multiple type question exam, second your assignment submission, and 3 is essay writing exam. This is how they have the pattern. You can check out all the Oracle database certification path, what type of profile you want for your certification. Now, for example, there are some set of questions, sample questions for you in PL SQL Developer, Oracle Certified Associate. They ask like, which of the following is not one of the benefits of using PL SQL? Support of object-oriented programming. Well, it support capability to develop web application. Yes, it will help you to develop your web application. Ability to declare variable and constants, tight integration with SQL, this is all true. What is not true is mostly OS independent. This is not true. PL SQL is not one of the benefits, will not provide you one mostly OS independent. Next question, which of the following statements about anonymous PL SQL blocks is true? They can be embedded in an OCA program. They can make use of bind variables. They can be created as either a function or procedure. They can be called from other PL SQL blocks, and they are compiled only the first time of the block is executed in a sessions. So this is the only one which is true. Sometimes these types of questions you can answer while when you are confused. You can see like which one is true or which one is not true. Just filter it out and get it one on the. Which of the following is valid implicit cursor attribute? So SQL percentage row count. This is a valid implicit cursor attribute. Practice interview questions. So now let's do the homework. There are some common questions you will face once the technical interview is done. It's like, tell me about yourself for the introduction. How will you rate yourself for PL SQL? What do you like to do outside of work? It's like your passion, which is non-technical. Specifically, it is non-technical. And it is okay to tell anything which is not related to work. This is completely an EQ kind of question, emotional questions for an interview, just to trick you. How would your boss and your co-workers describe you? How do you deal with pressure or stressful questions? So these questions are basically for those who are a little bit experienced and they're going to face another, they're interested in better offer, better work. So that type of questions are basically asked for CMM level type of organization. Brain teaser questions. This is really very interesting to ask sometimes, like how many tennis balls can you fit in a limousine? Now, they're not asking for any specific number. They just wanted to see how curious you are to answer this question. How desperate and are you interested, really interested to work with them? Do you have any questions for us? What are your salary requirements? Learn about your employer. You are going to apply for it. So this will help you to answer these questions, because salary requirements, once the technical interview is done, they will ask you questions to understand whether you fit in their budget. So this is all about the PL SQL practice interview question for you to work at home. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to TechRanch and stay tuned for upcoming videos. You can reach us on techranch2019@gmail.com for resources. Let's make coding fun. Thank you.